This video is going to go over collecting data on the mobile device. So the very first screen that you're going to see is a list of clients, and you can choose whether they're in an active session of collecting data or inactive. And we can bring them in and out of these sessions with the icon on the right hand side. So here we're able to click on Billy George and open up the list of active trackers that we've created for him. Or on the top right, we can go and open the folders that we've created. And in these folders, we can look through the playlist or what trackers you would like to work for, maybe in the AM. However, for this example, we'll go back and look at the list of active clients and open up the interval for regression. So here we can start the timer, and as the timer's going, we can record some frequency-based behavior. There's a couple screaming incidences and a couple kicking. However, we're able to leave this page and then go over to a new tracker and record information, and that timer will still be going. On the left-hand side, you can see a record of all the data that's been recorded for that day. So if another therapist has recorded data, you can come in and see how far along they got previously. We can come back into the tracker we were in earlier and see that timer's still going. So it really is like a shared digital clipboard that if I start a timer on my Android device, another therapist could come in on their iPad and that timer would still be going if they have access rights to that client. So as we come back out, now we'll show you an example of color matching, and we can automatically see the different targets that we set up on the web platform. So in this case, we'll go into a baseline of green because we've never worked on that with Billy George before, and we can collect a couple different data points. And if you remember, we set up a trigger that after 5 data points, we were going to move from baseline to active if a certain criteria was met. So now that we're in active, we can see our prompt level is full vocal, and we set up our prompt fading that if Billy George gets a certain percentage correct, then we'll change prompt levels. So here, once we hit that criteria, we can see on the upper left corner that we're now working on partial vocal with that client. So that's how we ran through all the data sheets that we went through. Maybe now we're done collecting data with Billy George, so we can bring him out of the active session. On the bottom, we have our navigation menu, so we can go to locations and then see clients in those locations, or we can go over to settings on the right-hand side. Here you're able to sign out of the app. The 0 requests pending is going to be how many data points you've collected while you're in offline mode. So you'll see this number decrease as you connect back to Wi-Fi. The Clear Everything tab does not actually clear data, it just resets it if you need it to recalibrate. And the virtual time allows you to go back and collect data at a specific period if you need to re-record that data. However, you do need to be connected to Wi-Fi to have virtual time working.